3, 2, 1, 0.
Roger, the clock is operating. We're underway.
You're loud and clear.
Roger, we're programming and roll okay. A little bumpy along about here.
Roger. Stand by for 20 seconds.
Roger. We're smoothing out some now, getting out of the vibration area.
Roger, you feel max Q, flight path is...
Roger, feels good through max Q and smoothing out real fine. Cabin pressure coming down by 7. Okay, flight very smooth now. Sky looking very dark outside.
All Roger, reading you loud and clear 7. Cape is go. We're standing by for you.
Roger, Cape is go and I am go. Our capsule is in good shape. Fuel 103, 102, oxygen 78,100. Cabin pressure holding steady at 5.8. Amps is 2.6. All systems are go. Indicating 6 Gs. Roger, 0 G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around. Oh, that view is tremendous.
Roger, turnaround has started.
Roger, capsule turning around, and I could see the booster during turnaround just a couple of 100 yards behind me. It was beautiful.
Roger, 7. You have a go with at least 7 orbits.
Roger, understand go for at least 7 orbits. The Friendship 7 can see clear back a big cloud pattern way back across toward the Cape. We're all set. This is very comfortable at 0 G. I have nothing but very fine feeling. It just feels very normal and very good. Have very little dirt floating around in the capsule, just a little bit, and preparing to take xylos pill at present time. This is Friendship 7. The head movements cause no sensations whatsoever. Feel fine. Reach test, I can hit directly to any spot that I want to hit. I have no problem reaching for knobs and have adjusted to 0 G very easily, much easier than I really thought I would. I have excellent vision on the charts, no astigmatism or any malfunctions at all. I feel fine so far, over.
Roger, understand.
This is Friendship 7, have beautiful view of the African coast, both in the scope and out the window. Out the window is by far the best view. Part of the Canaries was hidden by clouds. Roger, how you doing, Gordo? We're doing real fine up here. Everything is going very well, over.
John, you sound good.
Roger, control fuel is 90,100, oxygen is 75,100, amps are 22. All systems are still go, having no problems at all. Control system operating fine, over. The only unusual thing I have noticed is a rather high, what it would appear to be a haze layer of some 7 or 8 degrees above the horizon on the night side. The stars, I can see through it as they go.
We are go for launch. Welcome, guys. It is Saturday. This is super rare for the channel. I barely ever do, well, I barely ever do weekend streams, let alone Saturdays. If I do a stream on the weekend, it's usually Sunday night or something like that. So this is super rare. Welcome. The reason I'm jumping on here Saturday night is because my wife is actually having a little, like a little Zoom chat with some of her oldest friends. I've been doing that with my buddies a lot, so now she's doing that with hers downstairs right now. And I am hopping on here with you guys, talking about what it's kind of funny, man, because yesterday, you know, obviously we all first of all, let me crack open a cold one. Cool. All right. Yesterday, the news leaked, basically, right? On the Xbox store, it leaked. And Star Wars Squadrons was on the Xbox store, and everybody went crazy. Oh, this was an accidental announcement, blah, 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 blah. So I actually made a video. I made like a quick 3-minute, easy peasy, talking to the microphone video. I was uploading it, and as I was uploading it, EA tweeted out an official announcement. So like everything that I said in that video was completely... I like talked about it being a leak, and I was like, blah, 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 leak, and then EA just completely, just officially announced it, and it was just kind of funny, but dude, I'm super pumped. Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, check your time zones appropriately, but this Monday, at 11 a.m. Eastern time, is when they are going to debut the trailer. I don't know I have no idea what they're going to do beyond that. I don't know if they're going to show some gameplay or cinematic trailer, or have people talking about the game at all, or if it might just be like a 2-minute trailer. Who knows? Dude, super exciting. It's something that I think we've all been anticipating. Talked about it before, but hell yes. Cheers. I want to know what you guys think, what you're hoping for. I'll tell you what I'm hoping for, what I'm thinking it's going to be about. Yeah. Hell yeah. Caleb Kemp, Swishfish, and Franz Nerdnan, thank you guys so much for the first super chats of the stream. Let me take a quick sip. We were at the beach all morning. We're all pretty beat. My daughter took a good nap. We all still got a lot of sleep in our eyes. We're pretty damn groggy. But Caleb Kemp, thank you so much, man. Hello there, right back to you. I greatly appreciate that support this evening. Hope you're doing well, man. I actually dude. You probably heard my spiel about making that video and whatnot for the quote unquote leak that the EA officially announced a couple hours later. I actually sat down with the goal of recording your clips, and also I realized, or then as soon as I sat down, I saw that I think it was IGN, maybe I saw an article from IGN saying, you know, this leaked Star Wars game, and I was, oh shit. So I kind of put that stuff on the back burner. I apologize, but dude, General Kenobi, welcome, Mr. Kemp, General Kemp. I greatly appreciate that this evening. And Swishfish, a new Star Wars game. Please be good. I think we're in good hands, man. For me, when it comes, I'm a big fan of flight simulator games. I grew up playing games like ATF, and I grew up playing the original Microsoft Flight Simulator games. I grew up playing TIE Fighter and X-Wing and TIE Fighter vs. X-Wing and all those games. So that's kind of... and that being said, I wasn't the biggest fan of Battlefront 2's... flying mechanics. I think it got better over time once they kind of, or Battlefront 2 was definitely better than, it got smoothed out, but yeah, I don't know, man. My biggest hope for this, I think, is that it is cockpit central. You know what I mean? Like, cool, third person flight simulator. I think that's kind of guaranteed. I want the primary focus to be on like first person inside of the cockpit and feeling almost that claustrophobic sense of being inside of the cockpit of a fighter. And VR, please. But yeah, hell yeah, Swish. Crossing our fingers, right? I have faith. What's up, Alex and Molly? Good to see you guys. And Franz Nerdnan, Star Wars Explained, and Pitsy Jr., thank you guys so much. Give me one sec. Folks, Franz says, hopefully it's the closest thing I'll get to the Rogue Squadron games. You know, the only Rogue Squadron game I've ever played was the very first one, on the original Nintendo on the Nintendo 64. I still have that. The last time I played it was maybe 2 years ago. So I never experienced any of like the GameCube Rogue Squadron games or anything that came after the fact, but yeah, for me, Rogue Squadron was a very almost arcadey flight fighting, shoot 'em up game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it was kind of a little ahead of its time. Like, looking back at some of the graphics, I think it was one of the better looking games on the Nintendo 64. That being said, I'm sure this will be third person heavy, but like I said a couple minutes ago, like, dude, I want the experience. I want my chair that I'm sitting my ass on right now. I want this chair to be the cockpit of an X-Wing. Like, and that being said, I personally, I just can't justify purchasing a VR headset right now. I don't play very many games as it is. If I do, it's usually Red Dead Redemption, and that's been true for like 2 years, man. I really haven't played much. But yeah, like, they're so expensive right now. Once they plummet in price to the price of like a couple controllers maybe, or a regular accessory, they're just too pricey for my blood. But if this game is VR heavy, you know, I might that might push me over the edge, or maybe not. You know, my daughter needs a college fund. But anyway, man, hell yeah. And Alex and Molly from Star Wars Explained, good to see you guys. What's a gameplay feature you hope is included? A VR mode would be amazing. Yes, well, a gameplay feature that I hope is included that I probably won't be able to participate in for a while is VR. You know, I've only experienced VR a couple times. The first time I ever experienced it was at my buddy's house, in some shitty, like, I don't know, he probably bought it at a Walgreens, and you plug your phone into it and you put it over your eyes. It's basically like putting your phone up to your eyes, way too close to your eyes, in a cardboard box. But even that blew me away, man. And then I tried an Oculus in 2017 at Star Wars Celebration. Maybe you probably experienced the same one. It was like a Nissan ad, and you're driving around in like a Nissan Rogue, I think they're called. And that was all right. But this, man, at home, sitting in your chair, simulating a cockpit, it's just a game like this, whatever it's going to be. You know, obviously it's going to be, flying heavy, some kind of flight simulator or whatnot. It's flight simulators where you're sitting stationary is kind of perfect for where VR is right now, right? And I think if it doesn't have VR capabilities, I think it might. I hope it pushes those boundaries, right? I hope it pushes. I hope it propels the future of VR. I mean, I know there's a lot of things out like Half-Life Alyx, and obviously there's a ton of games on Steam, and there's a bunch more shit coming out for VR. But like a Star Wars, and yeah, we have some VR missions for Battlefront 2, but a Star Wars flight simulator VR, I think would be pretty huge for the future of that technology. But anyway, hope you guys are doing well up there in old Georgia. You guys were kind of the lab rabbits, right? The test bunnies up there for one of the first states to kind of open the floodgates. And I don't pay much attention to things, so I have no idea how you guys are doing up there, but I hope you're doing well. We kind of followed suit, man. Florida down here, it's pretty much all open now. And now it feels like it's just up to the discretion of the business, you know. Some bars are open, some bars are not. Some restaurants are takeout only. Some are just, hey, we'll take anybody. You don't need a mask. It's yeah. Anyway, man, I hope you guys are doing well up there. Thank you so much for the support tonight. And Pitsy Jr. loved the content. Greedo, ever want to do a movie review on Independence Day? It's one of my favorites. Pitsy, you're a man after my own heart. I grew up, so there's like, I mean, as we all did, I'm sure there are a ton of movies that I grew up watching, and probably the ones that I grew up watching the most, other than Star Wars, right? Star Wars is kind of default. There was Jaws. There was the Back to the Future. The first two Back to the Futures I watched primarily. I watched Temple of Doom the most out of any Indiana Jones movie. And then there was Independence Day and like Men in Black. But Independence Day kind of, I came out in 96, I think. And I was the perfect age for that. I was 10 years old in 96. And the movie was just so attaboy. It was so Boy Scouty, right? It was light the fires and kick the tires. It was let's go kick some ass. And it was all over the place, and there were so many characters and so many threads throughout the story, and it was goofy. It was huge, and I love it. Still to this day, man. It's one of my favorite, just kind of like, just to have on as background noise. It's one of the movies that I watched the most of as a kid. Now, Pitsy, the sequel, Independence Day Resurgence, I was super excited for it. Bought my IMAX ticket early. And not just me, my wife, my friend and his wife, and my other friend and his wife. I was like, fuck yeah, Independence Day is back. And then as soon as it opened up, I sat back in my chair and I was like, why am I so excited for this? Oh no. And as it continued to play out in front of me on the giant IMAX screen, I just sunk into my chair, and I just realized that some things you look forward to are inevitably going to be shit. And as I walked out of the theater, I took an Independence Day Resurgence poster, and I held onto it for a couple months, and it was just like sitting in my garage. And I think it was maybe like November, and it was getting a little chilly outside, and I needed some kindling. Normally at the old house, I would take some lint, like when you clean out your dryer vent, take some of that and just put it into the fire pit, light it, perfect kindling, perfect. But I didn't have it, so I used the Independence Day Resurgence poster. But yeah, man, maybe one day, a little movie review of Independence Day, I'd be up for it. I love it too, man. I love it too. But anyway, I appreciate that support this evening. Yeah, you too, Alex and Molly. Stay healthy up there as well. I watched Resurgence. It wasn't as good as the first. Yeah, no way. No way, Pitsy. The first one's, I mean, maybe if I watched it nowadays and didn't have that nostalgia for it, I would feel a little different. But I just think it's such a fun flick. It's just a really fun flick. I love the way it opens up. It's kind of it starts off as a pretty slow burn, it's a good build up. It builds it up really well. But yeah, anyway. And Scruffy Nerf Herder, thank you so much for the channel support as well this evening. Let me take a quick sip. Scruffy Nerf Herder says, intrigued, hoping for first and third person options, maybe a sweet blend between X-Wing and TIE Fighter. Oh, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, while still giving us something new. Yeah, that's the thing with a lot of games, Scruffy, is like, I think people, and I've been guilty of this too, I think people, whenever they hear of a new game or something like that, they kind of look towards what they've already played for what they want it to be, right? I think that's only natural. You hear new Star Wars flying game, everybody thinks of the Star Wars flying games they've played before. Oh, wouldn't it be great if it was like this? Wouldn't it be great if it was like that? Or they hear a new Battlefront's coming. Wouldn't it be great if it was just exactly identical to every other Battlefront game? I definitely want it to be more new than anything. What does that mean? I have no idea. I have no idea, man. I honestly don't even know if I want this to be like. I definitely want it to be, I think, more geared towards a single player experience. That being said, there are so. I mean, you could do it like. You could almost do it like a World of Warships kind of thing, right? Where you have your own fighter and you're in these giant battles, and you could make it like 50 on 50, a giant ass open massive battle, To me, that would be incredible. I think that's kind of a given. I'm sure there's going to be multiplayer aspects to this, but I really want it to be like single player heavy. I really want it to go through the story of a pilot, or whatever the story is going to be. Follow a squadron around. Yeah, I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. And yeah, so like it's kind of funny, Scruffy, when it comes to Yeah, I mean, really, when it comes to first-person shoot, well, like Battlefront, right? Battlefront, they give you the option for first or third person. Oh, one sec.
Can't stay, I have a question. Include your favorite character, your favorite ship, slave one. Will you still slave one? Will you seriously though? Do you seriously though? Do you think they include holding maneuver?
Vince, give me one sec, Scruffy and Ryan. Since Vince can't stay for a bit. Vince says, can't stay and listen tonight, but I have a question. If Squadrons doesn't include your favorite character, Boba Fett ship Slave 1, will you still buy it? Seriously, though, do you think they'll include a holdover maneuver? Good night. Have a good night, man. Thank you so much. Vince is getting more goofy and facetious as time goes on. Boba Fett is not my favorite Star Wars character. Slave 1 is not my favorite Star Wars ship. And no, I don't think they'll include the holdover maneuver. But I Vince, honestly, man, I kind of hope they have no characters like that. I kind of hope this is just kind of the story of some just regular run-of-the-mill pilots, right? There's a lot of pilots that we don't know anything about. You know, in all of these battles, maybe they're flying small skirmishes here and there, in and out missions, you know, run and gun, strike and then get the hell out. I want to see a lot of that kind of stuff, like kind of a scrappy squadron of pilots. Not Boba Fett, not Han Solo, not any pilot character we already know. I really want this to be like just, you know, if you were to go to the Air Force, the Navy, the Marines, the Army, and look at their, like, one of their squadrons, you just focus at, and then look at their pilots. I want that to be this game, you know, just some pilots. A lot of potential there. But Vince, have a good night, man. Thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support. Hope you're doing well. A little down south of me, but and Scruffy, yeah. So it's kind of funny. Like, Battlefront has the option of first and third, right? I always go first person. That is the way I like to play Battlefront. I don't want to play it any other way. And it depends when it comes to vehicles and flying games and stuff like that. It depends on the nature of the game. So if I'm playing a game like Elite Dangerous, right? Elite Dangerous, I want to play first person. I want to be in that cockpit. I want to fly to star systems. I want to explore the Milky Way galaxy because it's immersive and you know, and it puts you as an explorer in the cosmos. But if I'm playing a game like, shit, I don't know, Rogue Squadron, it's just kind of an arcadey, fun, you know, shoot 'em up game. It's very different. And I hope this is a blend of the two, but that being said, I really want it to be... Now, if it's not VR and I don't have a VR headset, I would probably play it third person more. But if it is VR, and I do have a VR headset, I would go first person every time. I say that now, but I can get motion sick pretty easily, and I think that would make me motion sick. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Ryan Harp, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Speaking of posters for Resurgence, I still have the one I bought on eBay in 2016. Now all I have to do is find some lighter fluid. You bought? What year did that come out? Has it already been that long? Independent. And why did you buy one on eBay? Day Resurgence. Came out in 2016. Okay, dude, it's hilarious. How excited I was for that movie, man. I was like super pumped. I shouldn't have been. It just did not have the charm, if you want to call it that, of the first. Or maybe it's just because I'm a little older now, right? But yeah, that's not a I mean, like, that's not a poster. I mean, maybe your theater going experience was a good one. Maybe you had a great time with some friends going to see it. Maybe you were on a date. Maybe the experience of going to see it was better than the movie, and you want to keep the poster for that reason. But in terms of movie posters that you hold on to because hell yeah, I love this movie. That was pretty bottom of the barrel for me. But anyway, Ryan, I appreciate that, man. I think I posted that Independence Day Resurgence poster, like, video, or a video of me using it as kindling years ago. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. Oh, this is Psychotics song. But are you going to start Rebels soon? Elijah, whenever... so, I'm not going to start Rebels until I eventually finish the Clone Wars 2003 miniseries, which I still haven't. I really need to get on the ball and watch that. It's just been, it's been a while. Or it's been a long time since I've said that I'm going to watch it. I'm still trying to find the time to do it. Slowly but surely. Let's see. There we go. One of the biggest questions I ask on top of quality with a game is longevity. I hope this has it. I make few exceptions for games I love, one being Metro Exodus. Otherwise, I like a fair few hours. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny. I think Matt Games, I really think as the years have gone on, what we consider a game's longevity, it's really interesting what we let pass in the past, right? And granted, technology wasn't what it is today. I think expectations are way higher today. I mean, you look at a game like Shadows of the Empire, right? We talk about it like a $50 game at the time. I think it was $49.99 when it came out. And you can beat that in a couple hours, right? And I only play through it because I have nostalgia still for it. I play it maybe once a month on a stream, maybe once every other month on a stream. But if you look back at some of those old games, the longevity certainly wasn't there. Now, the equivalent of a $50 game is a $60 game, and we expect so much more from our games than we did back then. It's kind of interesting, right? And I'm not saying that I want less. Obviously, I want the game to have a long life. I don't want it to rely on. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. I'm just super pumped for it. Anyway. Let me take a quick sip. You thought I was playing it? Soon, man. Soon. Not too long from now. Eventually. Ryan Harp, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support once again, man. I greatly appreciate that. Ryan says, also, Squadrons sounds like the game that's right up my alley. I'm more of a fan of Starfighters than the shooting in Battlefront 2. Can't wait to see more. That's great to hear. So I'm kind of the complete opposite, Ryan. In Battlefront 2, I only played the Starfighter elements maybe. Oh, my daughter's talking on the baby monitor. Can you hear her? What is she saying? I think she said we have lots of grapes. I think that's what she just said. She might be talking in her sleep, man. That's funny. So yeah, when it comes to Battlefront 2, I'm the complete opposite. I primarily like I definitely like the first person aspect of the game, the running and gunning and the shooting. I don't know why I never really got into the flying mechanics of Battlefront 2. And truthfully, Ryan, now that I think about it, I've never been a fan of playing flight sims with a mouse and keyboard. I love FPS with a mouse and keyboard. I can only play FPS with a mouse and keyboard. But when it comes to flying games, I need that joystick. Or the controller, an Xbox controller or something like that. And I don't think I've ever attempted to use an Xbox controller while playing Battlefront 2 flying mechanics. I don't know. I don't think I have. And honestly, Ryan, now that I think about it, that might really, really change my tune, and make me want to play more of it. Why haven't I never done that? That's stupid. Maybe I'll try that next time I stream. Maybe I'll like play Battlefront flying mechanics just to get excited for Squadrons. Anyway, yeah, there's a couple things that I'm really hopeful for. I hope it's like single player heavy. I hope it has a fun narrative. I hope you're a part of a crew of characters that we've never heard of, and I hope it's VR. That's all I want, man. And I also want a VR headset. Maybe that would make me pull the trigger to get one. But we'll see. They're so damn expensive. But yeah. I'm super excited. You know, Monday. It's kind of crazy. Yesterday when the news leaked of the game. What's up, Will? Good to see you, man. You can change the flying controls in Battlefront 2 as well. Okay. Yeah, I've never attempted to use the controller, so I'm sure, the default would be fine. I really don't know. But hell yeah, that's probably what I'll do next time I stream. But yeah, so yesterday I made a video talking about the leak. And at the time I made the video, it was a leak, and then like an hour later, EA officially announced it. And my video, I didn't upload my video because it was like everything that I said was completely wrong. But it was kind of funny because I looked at it and I was like, this leaked. They were supposed to do EA Play on the 11th. And they pushed it back to the 18th, right? And I was wondering if the reason it leaked out on the Xbox store was because it was an automated post, like ready to go up, and it just slipped through the cracks. Once they pushed EA Play back, somebody forgot to like take down that automatic post, and then EA, kind of, who knows? I'm probably wrong. Maybe that could be completely wrong. That's probably completely wrong. But dude, Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern time, we are gonna see our first glimpses of this game, whether that be a cinematic trailer. Who knows what it's going to be. I can't wait, man. Cannot wait. Swishfish and Ryan Harp, thank you guys so much for the channel support once again. Swishfish says, game prices haven't gone up like they should. $60 games should really be 120 plus, but nobody want to pay that, so game devs have to use other means to pay for games they're getting more money to make. Yeah, no, it's I mean, you even like 100. I'm trying to think the best way to put this. You're right. You're absolutely right. And you think of, in terms of bang for your buck, entertainment wise, right? $60 is nothing for a big AAA title that, let's say, is 40 hours, right? 40 hours for $60. You get game. A lot of games are even longer than that. I've played Red Dead Redemption 2 for like 50-something hours so far, right? And I got it for $60. And even if a game is $20 or $60 for 20 hours, you think about in terms of like, let's say you were to go to the movies. I mean, how many movie tickets would you have to buy? How much money would you have to spend at the movie theater to get 40, 50, 60 hours of entertainment, For bang for your buck or entertainment, video games are super cheap. Even $60 AAA titles that everybody thinks are too expensive. But yeah, you're right. So the price of development has skyrocketed. I mean, they advertise way more than they used to. The Nintendo 64 games and stuff like that. It's an entirely different world than it used to be. Yet they're $60. They used to be $50. I remember when games were $20. I remember when PC games were $20, $19.99 in the big boxes. Yeah, it's I don't know. So I've never really been one to bitch and moan about microtransactions and stuff like that. I understand from the perspective of like pay to win. That's a different story. But I've never had a problem with microtransactions as for cosmetics because, like you said, it's a way to get revenue and maybe put more more into the game. We've seen a lot of games do that, whether it be the new Destiny 2 or like other looter shooters like Destiny 2 or even Fortnite Battle Royale games. They do that. They pump it into the game. At least we hope they do. And yeah, so that being said, I've never bought a cosmetic in my entire life. I've never paid for a microtransaction in my entire life. I have zero desire to buy a dragon skin for my Deagle and Counter-Strike. It does not appeal to me whatsoever. But yeah, no, I completely agree with your perspective there, Swish. And Ryan Harp, one more thing. I was there the Thursday night that Resurgence came out. I went to the double feature that also showed the original. The original was worth the price of admission by itself. See, okay. Now that would be awesome. I would have, yeah. I would love to see the original on the big screen. If that was an option there, if it was a double feature and I could see the original in the theater, I'd be there. That would be a really awesome way to kind of put things side by side, the original and Resurgence, and just see how they both played out so differently. It's been I don't really remember too much of Resurgence, but I felt like it was very, I don't know, it felt like it was really shot claustrophobically. I don't know how to explain it. From what I remember, I don't know. Independence Day just had, like, the first half of the original Independence Day just had so much fun introducing characters and so much fun introducing all these scenarios and, introducing the aliens, and it was a slow build. And Resurgence, I feel like, was just, especially the end. It was just like a giant queen alien and some fighter jets and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, at least you got to see the original there, Ryan. I would have paid for that as well, man. But I appreciate the hell out of that, the generous super chats tonight, man. Hope you're staying safe. I have a system where I like to have £1 British 1 hour of gameplay, but I make exceptions for games that are extremely good or my favorite single player. Lucky I don't buy them often. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting way to look at them. I've never really looked at it that way. That's kind of an interesting way to look at it. Usually if there's a game that I want, a AAA, like $60 title, I don't even consider the time of playthrough. I don't know why. I've never really considered that. I mean, I've paid $60 for like the first two newer Wolfenstein games. I got those when they came out because those were just so much damn fun. I still have no idea how long it took me. And then like Alien Isolation, I think I beat that in like 17 hours. In the grand scheme of things, $60 for 17 hours. I think that's pretty damn cheap entertainment. Maybe a lot of people would disagree, but $60. 17 hours of entertainment for $60. Where the hell else can you find that? I mean, really. And it's also not just quantity, it's quality. Alien Isolation was quality, right? So, yeah. A game can last 80 hours, but how much of that is you doing nothing? Which sometimes nothing is great, right? I had this conversation with my buddy the other day, about Red Dead Redemption.
Really
one sec.
I'm really excited for this game. Starfighter modes have always been my favorite, and I feel like now they have a chance to do it right. What do you think?
Jack doesn't try. Thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate that. Give me one sec. Oh shit, what was I gonna say? Anyway. Yeah. Jack doesn't try. Thank you so much for this channel support once again, man. Jack says, hey man, really excited for this game. Starfighter game modes in all Battlefront games have always been my favorite, and I feel like now they have a chance to do it right. What do you think? Yeah, well, they've never been my favorite. It's kind of weird. Like, I'm a big fan of flying games. At least back in the day, I used to play a lot of them. Primarily on the PC. I had a joystick, and I used to get a kick out of that. And for whatever reason, I've never been able to get into the flying mechanics of Battlefront 2 and the previous Battlefront games. And maybe one of the reasons is because I've always tried to play it with a mouse and keyboard, like I said a couple minutes ago. I need to plug in my controller. Maybe I'd have a different feel for it. So, yeah, this could be a huge step forward for not only Star Wars games, but virtual reality games. For flight sim and virtual reality combo, you know, obviously it's kind of the perfect marriage of the two, a flight simulator and a virtual reality technology where it's at right now, because, you know, obviously you can't get around your room and sprint and run and all this kind of stuff. The technology isn't really there yet, but it is there to sit down on your computer chair and sit in the cockpit of an X-Wing and look around and play a game like that. You said, yeah, they have the chance to do it right. If they want to push the boundaries of technology, push the boundaries of what this game could be and what people want. Because you know, we don't want to just, I mean, sure, we like games in our hands, and you hold a controller and you get to fly an X-Wing. Cool, that's great, that's awesome. But dude, technology is there now to where they could push that shit to where, you know, you have a headset on and you have a literal joystick. I mean, what if imagine if they sold an X-Wing style joystick or whatnot, and they also sold like an X-Wing helmet VR headset, you know? People would buy the shit out of that, and I want to be immersed. I want to look around the cockpit of an X-Wing. I want to, you know, I don't know, touch buttons and fly around and get completely motion sick. That's what I want, man. That's what I want. But yeah, so that's when you say do it right, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. That to me would be doing it right. Pushing the boundaries. Look, we already have Star Wars Flight Simulator. We already have Star Wars flying mechanics with a controller, mouse and keyboard. Cool. There is a little VR Battlefront mission, but let's make that happen, right? Let's make that happen. I would buy that instantly if they did that. Yeah, like, to me, that's, in my brain, and where technology is at, that it would be awesome. Now, the problem is the price of entry, Jack. To me, it's way too much. Like, I don't know. I haven't looked at it in a while. Like, how much is an Oculus? I don't know. Are they called an? So Oculus Rift S. So it looks like $550, $680. So let's just say $600. That is, dude, that is so much damn money. And I recognize that it's incredibly impressive. It's powerful. It's next generation stuff. But it's kind of like when, you know, CD players first came out or DVD players first came out. DVD players were like $700 when they first came out, dude. And then after a few years, you could get one for like $50. I really hope VR headsets drastically drop in price because, you know, the price of entry is too damn expensive right now, and hopefully that comes down. But anyway, eventually, maybe. But right now, it's a little too pricey for my blood. But I appreciate that, Jack. And Caleb Kim, once again, thank you so much, man. I'm timidly looking forward to Squadrons Reveal. It'll have to win me over. I've sadly never finished Fallen Order, so this game will have to really click with me to convince me to get it. Oh yeah, never finished it. Interesting. So yeah, it's so luckily, if you're not a big fan of Fallen Order, I would think that this is going to be extremely different than Fallen Order, right? I mean, this, from what we can gather just by the name and the image that we saw, it is going to be a flying game, right? Which Fallen Order certainly was not. So maybe this will be pique your interest a little more than Fallen Order. That's a bummer though, man. What was it? I'm going to keep an eye on the chat, but I'm curious. I've heard from a few people that they didn't like Fallen Order. Actually, one of my best friends didn't really care for it. He texted me like after maybe 8 hours of playing it, he was like, yeah, I really can't really get into this that much. And I was like, oh, that's a bummer. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's my favorite Star Wars single-player game when I take away the nostalgia, you know. But, yeah, hopefully, I'm really curious, Caleb, what we're going to see on Monday. Because you said timidly looking forward to Squadrons reveal. But what are we going to see on Monday, you know? Is it going to be a 2-minute long cinematic trailer? You know? Something that... which really doesn't do anything for me. Sure, I mean, it's cool to get a feel for what the game's going to be, the story, the characters, and all that stuff in a cinematic way. For me, the thing that gets me most excited is gameplay. I like to see how the game operates and plays, what it's going to look like when you're actually playing it. Do I think we're going to see that on Monday? I doubt it. Do I hope? Yeah, just a little bit. Just like wet my whistle. Maybe like 15 seconds of choppy gameplay, you know. Would be pretty great, but who knows, man. Who knows? And Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much as well. I managed to avoid Last of Us 2 spoilers. Still want to play it. Also, did you see the fan edit of The Rise of Skywalker where Yoda, Anakin, and Obi-Wan appear? No, I haven't seen that. Sorry, man. There we go. Let me unmute my phone because... There we go. Sweet. Well, first of all, I don't know how you avoided Last of Us 2 spoilers. I don't own a PlayStation. I really don't have any desire to get Last of Us 2. If I did have a PlayStation, I'd probably get it. But I'm not interested in it. It's not like I was avoiding it. It's not like I was looking for Last of Us information or news or looking forward to playing it. And I even got spoiled. And even if you did get spoiled, you still want to play it, right? I would still want to play it if if I had that interest. It's, I don't know. You still want to see a Star Wars movie, and even if you get spoiled, right? It's about the journey. But no, I didn't know that a fan edit of The Rise of Skywalker where Yoda, Anakin, and Obi-Wan appear existed. Let's see. The Rise of Skywalker fan edit, Yoda, Anakin, Obi-Wan. JX editor, wow. Redux ideas. No. What is that? Well, I'll look for it. What? So I'm assuming it's at the end, right? At the end, where we see Leia and Luke. At the end, interesting. That wouldn't. I mean, maybe people would eat that up, but for me, like, if that happened in the movie theater, I don't think it would add anything or take away anything. You know, I didn't really care for the movie, as you know. But seeing Yoda, Anakin, and Obi-Wan at the end, honestly, probably would do... I mean, it would do nothing for me. But anyway, Oscar, I appreciate that, man. So that being said, if I do end up getting a new console in the future, I'll probably go with the PlayStation over an Xbox. Just because I've always been... I think the PlayStation exclusives appeal to me more. But... it's been a while since I've owned a PlayStation. Anyway. Let's see. Where did that go? Rift S is 400. So, I mean, like, dude, I see the price of like a Oculus or something like that, and I'm like, yeah, I could get a new graphics card. I could get. Not that I need anything. I mean, my graphics card is an R9 390. I bought it 5 years ago. Runs whatever. It's fine. And you could also buy like a new PlayStation. You know, you could buy a fucking Nintendo Switch for the price of an Oculus. So I'm waiting for things to go down, right? I'm waiting for things to go down. William Aguilar, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Hey Greedo, I uploaded the first minute of my Galactic Factions board game video on your Share Creations Discord section. Let me know what you think so far. Hell yeah, man. Do you have, I'm going to post the link, in this chat. So everybody, if the 111 people listening to my voice right now, I'm about to post a link in the chat. Oh crap. Let me log into my Discord. Okay. Two-factor. Okay. God. Hopefully I didn't just lock myself out, dude. Alright, here we go. Okay, awesome. I thought I locked myself out of my Discord account. So, share your creations. Hell yeah. Is there a way for me to copy message link? Sweet. Okay, this should work, guys. This should work. So, if you go to that Discord link that I just sent you, you might have to log into your Discord account. That's the HelloGreedo server. Will is, he says the Kickstarter is not up yet, but it will launch later this year. Will is working on a board game. And if you go to, maybe throw up some pictures in the share your creation thing too, Will, so anybody that's checking it out right now can hop in there. But he's working on a board game that is, it's kind of hard to explain without seeing it. It's sure, board games are two-dimensional, right? This is, and I'm probably doing a horrible job explaining it, Will, but think of like Battleship, but in 3 dimensions. You know, in vertical space, horizontal space, up and down and left and right, and also so Battleship with like vectors and coordinates, like spatial coordinates, and it's just a really cool concept. He's sent me some pictures, and I've never seen anything like it. It's such a fantastic idea. And as he said, he's going to be doing the Kickstarter later this year. And dude, I hope it goes really well. It's such a unique, cool concept. Yeah, man, hell yeah. So everybody check that video out, and I will.
In a distant galaxy.
Ooh. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Oh, you can watch the video. You can see exactly what it's all about. There you go. And he just posted the videos too. Yeah, it's cool, man. I'm curious, have you pitched this to any companies or anything like that? Or you want to keep it completely like your baby? I love it, man. I love it. Hell yeah. But anyway, I appreciate it. Keep us posted. I'll get some. I know I have a few buddies that used to live around my old house. They still live downtown, you know, since we moved out to the suburbs. They have like D&D nights. They have like Star Wars, I don't know what the games are called, board game nights. Yeah, it sounds like something that would be right up their alley. Yeah. And Caleb Kemp, it's not that I dislike Fallen Order, but day 1 spoilers killed my hype. I kept getting stuck, and life keeps me from playing much. I feel you on the life thing. Yeah, there were a few times where you kept getting stuck. So there were a few times where I'm trying to think, like, well, Fallen Order to me, a lot of the times with games, there are points where I just can't get by. But Fallen Order, I found myself just kind of going through a rhythm and never had any big hiccups. Now, the spoilers, yeah, they were running rampant. And I think you know this, but the thing that spoiled me, man, was an official EA trailer for the game that appeared during like a Monday Night Football game. They had a character that pops up at the end of the game, right? We all know, if you play the game, we all know who it is. they had him front and center in this commercial. I hadn't beat the game yet. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yeah, man. Yeah, you know, sometimes games do that. There's been plenty of games that, you know, everybody loves, that I end up giving a chance to, and for whatever reason, it just doesn't hit me. And maybe I'll revisit those games years from now, and I'll end up really liking them and jump back into one of them, like Fallout, for example. Fallout is a series that, you know, I'll play them from time to time. I've never been the biggest Fallout fan. Those games have always felt super clunky to me and just buggy as shit and not smooth whatsoever. And I bought Fallout 4, I think it was Fallout 4. I bought that one and maybe played like a couple hours of it and then didn't touch it for maybe 2 years. And then I ended up playing like 30 hours of it, right? So it's kind of funny how if you revisit a game after a certain, I don't know, period of time, you can kind of fall in love with it. I've had that happen with a few games, but yeah. Hopefully that happens with you, Caleb. Anyway. Bearded Emperor, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Bearded says, have you seen those hilarious PS5 and Xbox memes? Yeah, I've seen a decent amount of them. I've seen ones that compare it to like the PS5 to like what are those, like a dehumidifier in somebody's room. Somebody turned the Xbox into like a mini fridge. Yeah, they're pretty funny. They're pretty funny. Now, I personally don't like either design. I'm kind of picky with the way I like my consoles to look. If you look at the Xbox One S, the Xbox One S is kind of exactly what I want my console to look like, right? Just a white box, low profile, just kind of unassuming, just there. It fills a shelf. It looks sleek, you know. Doesn't cry out for attention. Now the PS5, I am not a fan of the design. To me, first of all, I like my consoles to be horizontal. Maybe you can lay it down horizontally. I would assume, I'm sure that'll be an option. I don't know though. I don't know if there's a fan that it'll block. I haven't really looked too deep into it, but the design of the PS5 to me, it reminds me of, like, if you go to eBay and you type gaming headset, you will see $10 gaming headsets that, you know, they look like they're trying to be fancy with all this white plastic all over it and doodads and stuff. But in reality, they're cheap, and that's what it looks like to me. That's what it reminds me of. Like $10 eBay cheap-ass plastic headsets that will be manufactured and shipped from China and will get to you in a month and a half. That's what it reminds me of. But yeah, I've seen some pretty serious or silly memes. But yeah, anyway. I'm looking at both of them now, the PS5 and the Xbox, the new Xbox. Yeah, I really don't like either. I mean, I think I like the Xbox more because it's a little more unassuming and it kind of looks like a subwoofer. but yeah, anyway. Kind of looks like a PC tower. I don't know how big it's going to be, but yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Caleb Kemp, coming in with the final super chat and channel support of the stream before I jet. Caleb says, plus Battlefront updates kept bringing me back to that game. LOL. And since my time is limited, I prefer a game like Battlefront 2 where I can accomplish goals in 10, 12 minutes versus several hours. Dude, no, I completely agree. There was a time where, you know, if I wanted to fill the little itch that I had to play a game, I would jump into a game of, you know, Battlefield or Battlefront, or maybe a longer game of Postscriptum or something like that. Because, yeah, I mean, life gets in the way for games. It's and as it should, right? It's very hard for me to find the time to sit down and play a game for an hour. I mean, 45 minutes. I'm lucky to sit down and play a game for 45 minutes, right? Really, the only time I ever play any game is like on nights that I don't stream. I usually just sit on the couch. My wife goes and rocks my daughter to sleep at night. And I might have like 40 minutes to play, and I'll fire up Red Dead Redemption 2. That's maybe once a week I'll do that, if that. But yeah, no, it's a game like Battlefront. Games like that have quick matches, fast-paced. They're way more easy to digest and play when you can. It's really hard to set aside a giant chunk of time to play like a long-ass campaign or chunk of a game's story. There was a Zio. You guys probably know Zio. Zio has returned on the channel. He streams on Twitch from time to time. And the other day I went to his Twitch, what do they call it, a Twitch channel? I don't know much about Twitch, but I went to his account, and he had like a 3.5 hour stream on there. And I thought about that. I was like, dude, I used to do that shit all the time. I used to get on the as we all probably did, right? Or still do. I used to get on the headset microphone with my buddies. There'd be 5 of us in a chat, and we'd play for 4, 5, 6 hours on the weekends, just cutting up and acting like idiots, playing Rust or DayZ or going back to Company of Heroes or going back to Counter-Strike and Day of Defeat. Same group of guys. I haven't done that in a couple of years. And I was like, oh, Zio, I miss that. I want a night like that, But anyway, Caleb, I feel you, man. I completely feel you. And Caleb, once again, also last thing, I swear, the fact that I paid extra for the exclusive cosmetic items that Fallen Order just gave to everyone a few months later soured me as well. Yeah, I don't really know I don't know the full details on that. But yeah, is that how it worked out? Yeah, what was that update called? It was called Fallen Order. I'll look this up, Caleb. Fallen Order. What was that called? It was a free update on May the 4th or something like that. Yeah, that sucks. You don't, if you offer something in advance, if you offer cosmetics or whatever for pre-order or for something in a game that before a game comes out, right? You're incentivizing people to pay for a game, features in a game, right? You shouldn't be able to earn those features. Like if you're paying for a cosmetic in a video game, especially in like a pre-order thing or an exclusive edition, I don't know, you should not be able to order that, or you should not be able to earn that cosmetic in the game. That's, that's how I feel. That's kind of an exclusive, that's what you're paying for, right? It's when it comes to cosmetics. So yeah, I completely understand why that would sour you. You pay a little extra, and then a couple months later, wait, I could have just waited? Could have just waited? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That would have made me, that's stupid. But anyway. I've never seen The Godfather 2, James. I've only seen the first one. That's the only one I've ever seen. You to have an Xbox. Literally no reason for a Windows 10 user to have an Xbox. I have an Xbox, however, Windows 10 user. Why not? What do you mean? If you have a Windows PC, you can play any Xbox game via Windows Store. Grab an Xbox. Oh, you can? Well, I know Red Dead Redemption 2. Well, I don't think every Xbox game is available on the Windows Store, right? Red Dead Redemption 2 just came out. Right? I think it just came out. I've heard Godfather 2 is the best one. I've only seen the first one. I thought the first one was amazing. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but yeah, compliment each other. Yeah, I've heard nothing. I've heard all that, but yeah, eventually I'll see it. But anyway, so Halo 5 isn't on the PC. Yeah. Well, what's cool, I've only done this a couple times. If you have an Xbox and a like a Windows 10 machine, if my wife is watching TV on our living room TV downstairs, I can stream Red Dead Redemption 2 from my Xbox to my PC and play any game on my PC via my Xbox. You know, it's exactly like the Steam Link, but the opposite. You know, from TV to computer, instead of computer to TV. So I've done that a couple times, but yeah. Anyway, so guys, I'm gonna go jet. I think we're gonna watch an episode of Watchmen. Loving that show. We're 6 episodes in. Don't know anything about Watchmen, and it's so fucking weird and fun and out there, and yeah, we're thoroughly enjoying it. So, all right, guys, to everybody who supported the channel this evening, Caleb, Bearded, William, Oscar, everybody, Vince, Jack, Swish, Ryan, Scruffy, Alex and Molly, Pitsy, Franz Nerdnan. I need some water. My throat is sore. Thank you guys so much for supporting tonight. My next stream will be Monday. Probably in the afternoon, because as we know, the Star Wars Squadrons reveal trailer, whatever it's going to be, is going to be on Monday. So I will be doing a stream, like as soon as I put my daughter down for a nap, I will be doing a stream Monday afternoon. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. Yeah, we're going to the pool tomorrow. We went to the beach today. It's a good weekend. Very lucky living in Florida. We take it for granted for sure. There every weekend. But all right, guys, have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever the hell you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya.